Welcome to another episode of It's Debatable. I'm Justin with my co-host Sebastian. As you can see, Justin will not be in attendance for this episode, but as always, we're always ready to talk basketball. So first, just starting off, how are you doing today?
Chilling, man. Feeling good. See, we out with our co-host, man, but we gonna keep the show rolling.
Yeah, you feel me? It's always how we do. But anyway, first topic of today, we're just gonna talk. So with the NBA season coming to an end on April 14th, will be the last week of NBA basketball. So just looking at things, how everything is shaken up in the Western Conference, in the Eastern Conference, there's been a lot of movement within the play-in situation, and I just wanted to first ask, just before we even get to the topic, currently we have, the Pelicans, the Kings, the Lakers, the Warriors, and even, the Suns is right there in contingent in the Western Conference. And then on the Eastern Conference, we have, the Sixers, the Heat, the Pacers, the Bulls, and the Hawks all hovering in that playing spot. So the first question to start, who do you have, once everything, the play-in is situated and everything, who do you have in that 7 and 8 spot and why?
To me, if I'll start off in the West, I just really think that with the momentum that the Lakers got right now, I definitely feel like they can capitalize on the eighth seed. I know it goes seventh to eighth.
Yeah.
Fight for that seventh spot. So between the Pelicans and then the Kings right now, I would have to go with just the Pelicans. I just like what I've seen thus far from them this season. Depending where everybody matches up, because at one point you could be a sixth seed or fifth seed, and next thing you know, you lose 2 games, you're right back into playing within this Western Conference. I feel like this Western Conference this year has been very competitive this far, and I'm not expecting no short of a race come down to the postseason. So all these games matter towards the end of the season. You know how usually back in the days where we usually have our all 8th seed, and then it's just a waste of a season.
Yeah.
Trying to drag yourself to the playoffs and shit like that. Now I feel like there's more added value into the playing that we didn't see when it first came about. Just why are we playing late until April? We should be ramping up for the playoffs. But teams now are hungry. We might have a chance. Even with the Rockets, we saw they was really hungry. They took shots at the Warriors saying how we want to take them out of the playing tournament, and we want to put ourselves in there as well. So when I look at it, all these teams are hungry right now. So it really depends, though. But to me, that 7th to 8th seed can literally go to, I believe, the Pelicans. And then I'll have to say the Lakers, though, because just what we've seen recently from the Lakers, they've looked better than they have. I think they're hitting their stride now. More so than they did earlier within the season. Players are more accustomed. You're getting returning players back like Gabe Vincent, Jared Vanderbilt. So I feel like everything is clicking for them right now. So I definitely feel like they can capitalize on being the 8th seed.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you too. But I just have it a little bit different, just because I took a peep at the schedule, and the Pelicans at the 7th spot, they have to face the Lakers, the Warriors, and the Kings for their last 3 games. So legit, their last 3 games are all crucial. I have a feeling that they may drop a little bit, just because they don't have Brandon Ingram. But for me, I have the Lakers actually going into that 7th spot. Currently, how it's constructed, the Kings and the Lakers have the same record. They're 44 and 33. But, with, a couple wins, they could easily get into that 8th spot and then switch spots with the Kings. The Kings, as of late, with the injury to Malik Monk and Kevin Huerter, has been they've been losing momentum just a little bit. So I do have a feeling that they could either maintain that spot or drop a little too. So I'm just expecting a little bit for just the way the Lakers are playing right now. They're 8-2 in their last 10. I'm just expecting the Lakers just to creep into that 7th spot. And then if we're going off today, they possibly will be facing the Nuggets. And I feel like that would be an interesting matchup as well. Now for the 8th spot is definitely interesting. Whoever loses that 7 and 8 matchup, I definitely feel, the Lakers got it for that 7th spot. But to win one game, it's hard for me to bet against, Steph Curry and the Warriors, especially when you have a younger team, or a depleted team in the Kings and a younger team in the Pelicans. But honestly, I'm going to have the Pelicans going 8th, just because I also just want to see the matchup potentially between, Anthony Edwards and Zion, 2 young stars going at it head-to-head on in the playoff series. I definitely just want to see that matchup. And again, I just feel like the Pelicans are just deeper than the Warriors a little bit and younger and have more energy, to win a game. So I definitely feel, they have too many weapons just to, fall flat and not make the playoffs. So I definitely have the Pelicans, making that 8th spot and potentially going against the Timberwolves. So even with your even with your 7 and 8, how do you feel about the matchup specifically, and who do you want them to face?
Well, I definitely wouldn't mind right now the way you set it up that the Lakers are 9th and then the Warriors are 10th. So, it's always an interesting matchup when you got Steph versus Braun, especially when you get that. At any given point, like we could be talking about maybe Dallas if they slip one game. Phoenix Suns could be in that playing spot for the 7th and 8th. And at a point, literally like last week when we was talking about this, it was literally supposed to be like Phoenix, Dallas, Golden State, and then LA. So that would have been made for an interesting playing matchup. Like, feel me? Either way, from the West, it's going to be competition all around the board. But I definitely want to see that LeBron versus Steph matchup that happen first. It's going to be suck because it's really like, in that 9th or 10th is really win or go home.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So I feel like it's gonna add a little more pressure. It's gonna be very good for the league too that you get a playing situation game like that to where the stakes are very high for a team that's trying to make to the playoffs, especially for a team like the Warriors right now that are that were just winners of 6. Although they lost to Dallas last night, they're still winners of 6. So they're building momentum too. So right now, every team I feel like in the West are building momentum right now just to ramp it up for playoff time. Not everybody could be in the playoffs though. So
Yeah, so even with the West handle going on to the Eastern Conference, so who do you have making that 7 and 8 spot?
To me right now.
And just a heads up too, like in that playing spot, I know like the Pacers may be 6, but they could easily fall down. You got like the Pacers, the Sixers, the Heat, the Bulls, and the Hawks. Yeah. All in that playing area.
To me right now, I just really think that I haven't been paying attention to the East playing because it's like there's losing records within the, so it doesn't really matter who plays who. Like, I feel like they just gonna get swept regardless. You know what I'm saying? Like you really want to see like Chicago go in the first round against the fucking, against the Celtics? Like,
nah, facts.
Yeah, like the only competition would be Miami, but I don't think they're gonna fall off. So to me, I have probably like the Pacers at the 7th and Philly at the 8th.
All right.
I do feel like, although like Joel Embiid came back, they went on a little 3-game win streak right now. I do feel like, it's a lot to cover up ground. I do feel like, they tried their best to hold the fort down while Embiid was down, but, it's a lot to cover. I do feel like Miami's going in the right direction too. They just came off a good win or so. So right now, I feel like they could take the 6th seed right now. I feel like Indiana is just like, Tyrese Halliburton has not looked the same to me since that. I think he's playing hurt because like from the beginning of the season, from the in-season tournament till now, it's 2 different players. Like,
he definitely had the hype train. Even before the All-Star break, that All-Star break came and then
I don't know who I'm watching anymore. Like, I don't know who the fuck that is. I don't know what it is. I definitely know that he was playing. Maybe he wants that extra, incentive. Maybe he was going for that All NBA. But the Tyrese Halliburton that we've seen right now, if that's what's going into this plane, Indiana got no shot. Indiana got no shot. And that's not a knock on it, but it's just like, you could see the difference. Like, we talking about somebody that looked like, everybody's like, oh my God, the IQ of the game of Tyrese Halliburton. Oh, the Knicks should have drafted him. Like it was an even trade right now for the Kings and then the Pacers. But shoot, bro, like if he can't, ramp up his play back to what we seeing, then, shoot, they're out of there. But to me, I just feel like just these teams in general, like the Nets, are the Nets or they're
nah, we're done for, bro. So
the Hawks, like it's cool seeing what DeJounte Murray does, but it's not good. It's not enough.
Yeah.
And then Chicago has just been a mess. Like, I mean, 1 second they'll look decent, the next and they'll look like, all right, let's blow the team up. So in reality, you just got to go with the 2 like consistent teams that's been in the playoff spot, not in the play-in, but they fell short because of injuries or so. So I'm gonna go on Embiid, and then I'm gonna go with the Pacers.
Yeah, definitely. I have the same thing. I feel Indiana will make that 7th spot just because I think they could just win one game. Especially against the 76ers. In the event they do face up, I definitely feel like they could just at least win that game, get on, and then they'll possibly face the Milwaukee Bucks. That would be like a very interesting series as well. And then I do have the 76ers making that 8th spot going against the Celtics. Now, to your point too, I do feel like they both will get eliminated, but I definitely feel that the Sixers Sixers and Celtics series will be interesting, but I definitely would just want to see how more so Jason Tatum approaches this series specifically, because again, I don't feel specifically this being the first round, and I know it's the AC, but it's the Sixers or whatever. I feel like specifically this shouldn't be a long-winded series. This should be max 6 games. It shouldn't go not even max, probably even 5 more so. Because again, we got Joel Embiid, injured. He's not, hasn't played, majority of the rest of the season. So he's going in, kind of unconditioned a little bit. I know they have a week before the playoffs, but again, I don't feel, and also too, he doesn't have that second star in James Harden to have that 40-point game. He does have Maxey. Now, I do feel like Maxey will contribute, but I don't feel like he will be as a bigger contributor as James Harden was last year. So I definitely feel like they definitely are shorthanded compared to last year, and I definitely feel like it should be an easy series for the Celtics.
Shoot, that's if that, and that wouldn't be a bad first round matchup though. I definitely like how that's definitely a little bit test for the Boston Celtics, not to horse around. How just like the Boston Celtics get, like, they'll look like a dominant team, then they'll go stretches where they look like there's like tanks in the armor, like there's like chinks in the armor, like they'll play around with their food.
Yeah.
This would be definitely a good matchup for a team that took you 7 games last year, although be without James Harden this year. That would definitely be a good test for them, because you still got a guy at MVP caliber and Joel Embiid that's definitely going to give you problems. So just how they handle that situation, we'll see how really well the Boston Celtics can play within this postseason, or if they're serious or not.
Yeah, definitely. And even on staying on that topic, we're going to go into our next question. So disregard the plan just in general, and in all, who do you think has the most momentum going into the playoffs, and who do you expect to have like a great postseason?
To me right now, it has to be the Dallas Mavericks. I think right now the Dallas Mavericks are looking real serious. I think with the health of Luka and Kyrie right now, with the additions of PJ Washington and Daniel Gafford, and just all the other pieces they have around them within the Tim Hardaways of the world, the Derek Lively's of the world, like, the Dante Exums, like, this team right now could give any team trouble, like, depending who they match. And I believe right now they're sitting 5th seed right now, so that Clippers and like that's not an easy matchup. Like, I know the Clippers, got the best of the last 2, but I feel like this year, like, the path Luka Doncic is going on, like, he's coming for blood. So I feel like this postseason, like, you don't want to see the Dallas Mavericks, especially with a Kyrie Irving that's definitely a closer within the fourth quarters, and not just Luka now you got to worry about. You got to worry about Kyrie Irving that could really go off at any given time, that could take over a fourth quarter. I feel like the spacing on the floor is definitely going to be a threat for other teams. Daniel Gafford has definitely looked like, a solid big in his role right now. I feel like he's been the X factor of this team thus far, just making things easier, setting hard screens, rolling hard to the basket, crashing the boards, playing help defense on the block, and just overall just, been a solid big, something that Luka has really needed. I know Derek Lively was doing that at a point too, but as a rookie, but you really want to have like a vet, somebody that's been in the league, knows what they're capable of doing. So I feel like shout out to Daniel Gafford. He's doing great work over there. PJ Washington too, coming from a losing situation. You see what really happens when you take players that, come from like bad losing situations and put them on a title contending team. Yeah. You add solid pieces to that to where they look better in their role than what they did in previous seasons. So I definitely think the Dallas Mavericks are just on the right side of things. Post All-Star break, they have definitely been, one of the better teams. When I'm looking at it, I just feel like this team just has like everything going for them right now. We don't take them as a defensive team or whatnot, but offensively, we really look at this team like, if Luka's going crazy, if Luka got 40 points right now, Kyrie's not that far off with 30. You got Tim Hardaway, he might get like 5 threes up. Yeah. Like, they go So it's a scary side in Dallas right now. If I'm a team, I'm not taking them lightly one bit. You're going to have to bring your A game for a 7-game series, because once Luka Doncic touched that postseason, man, it's a different animal.
Yeah, definitely. And I definitely agree with you too. I definitely feel like the Mavericks definitely have a lot of momentum. To your point, they definitely, I feel specifically after that Nuggets game with that Kyrie buzzer beater, everything's been going very well
crazy,
just
bro.
for them.
I'm a lefty and I can't even do that.
Yeah,
shit.
Bro, that's wicked, bro. Bro, from the free throw line, like left over Jokic, bro, it's crazy.
I bet it on that game. I'm like, so boom, like I'm out, like, for me, I'm out with the boys, St. Patty's Day, shit like that. So I'm betting on the game, like I'm like, the Nuggets are down like 12, like in the fourth quarter. But you know how the Nuggets get. Like they make that runs, like they're not a team that just goes away. So I'm like, yo, the Nuggets about to come back and win. So I'm looking good. Me and my boy Chuck, we drink some beers. Like I'm like, yo, bro, I'm telling you, like, yo, they about to win. It gets tied up. Like I forgot, Luka hit the three to tie the game first. And I'm like, oh shit. Jamal Murray misses the shot. Out of nowhere, I'm like, I bet we're going to overtime. The way Kyrie Irving just, that's all what is left too. Like he just strictly dribbled up, has he left, and just over Jokic too. Like
a floater, bro. Floater. Like
when I tell you,
tough.
Kyrie Irving is literally like, I had arguments before where people try to say like is Steph like the most like skilled point guard or player ever. I said Kyrie Irving is the most skilled player to ever touch a basketball. Like they're like, there's nothing he can't do on the court. Like the shit that comes to his mind of where he wants to go, like you can't stop him.
Bro is creative as hell. And definitely, and that's an unpopular opinion I have too. I always say, like, when they come to point guards, like Kyrie's right behind Steph in the league. Like I think Kyrie's number 2 point guard in the league. That's my opinion, unpopular opinion. I don't care to like argue or disagree with anybody. That's just how I feel. But yeah, yeah, I definitely feel like the momentum is definitely on the Maverick side. To your point, we just seen like Luka Doncic work his way up to number 2 now in the MVP standing, right there tie with Jokic. I definitely feel a big part of that is just because Shai has been missing games, so he's definitely fell down in the ladder. But I definitely feel like they've just been a great team as well. To your point, Dante Exum doing a great job, being a primary defender on certain matchups, giving Luka and Kyrie some leeway and save some energy for offense. Now I do feel like going into the playoffs, having Kyrie Irving is going to be very big for them, just because I feel like, and no discredit to Luka Doncic, I just feel like Kyrie is really the true leader on the team. I think we often forget like how far Kyrie Irving got inside the playoffs, and he's a NBA champion, and he hit big shots in big moments, and so there's nothing new to him. I definitely feel like him being on the Mavericks is definitely going to be a new element for the Mavericks. I definitely feel like I never had a guy of that caliber that has a winning record and has that type of experience now, to where Jason Kidd doesn't have to coach as much. Kyrie can act as a coach on the floor and make adjustments on the fly and what he sees. So I definitely feel like that helps Luka Doncic and helps them, possibly get far in the playoffs. Now, again, you did say like they're matched up against a 4 against the Clippers. As of right now, I definitely had some disagreements with people this week. I've ran into a couple Mavs fans on Twitter and Spaces. Had to give them my 1-2 real quick, but it is what it is. But yeah, so
yeah, I'm just saying though, bro. Like I know me and you both got the Clippers going to the finals this year, but that's good. I feel like that's a great test to see where like you stand and how can you play, because that team is not going nowhere. That team is really not going nowhere, and especially in the fourth quarter situations. Now you have 2 closers. Like we seen Luka what he did to the Clippers, against Reggie Jackson in that bubble. Like we seen him go off for 40 against the Clippers, 50 against the Clippers. Kyrie Irving is somebody that when you put the ball in his hands, like feel me, especially in the fourth quarter, it's like magic is gonna happen. Like he's gonna get you there. So
and this is the 3rd time too. They already matched up twice, and Clippers got them out of there first round, same 6 games. You feel me? So this is their 3rd time to really redeem themselves, and I'm gonna look forward to it. So hopefully, But another team that I wanted to say as well was the Lakers as well, just because I feel like earlier in the season they came from 10, now they're climbing their way up to sneaking up to 7. So big shout out to the Lakers. I'm not gonna get too much into it because I really don't like them, and but all right, so going into the next subject. So being that this is end of the season, there's been a lot of speculation on end of the season awards, and one person in particular, Victor Wembanyama, we all know has been a debate between him and Chet for a Rookie of the Year. But opposed to that as well, currently he has the highest block per game statistic right now at 3.5 blocks a game, and there is talks around him being possibly Defensive Player of the Year. So how do you feel about him at least being considered, or should he win Defensive Player of the Year?
Nah, because at the end of the day, like defense leads to wins. So when I look at it, it's just that you're great, blocking shots, but you're sitting last in the conference within the West. I don't know. I never seen a Defensive Player of the Year not make the playoffs, or just not even just you got like 13, 14 wins, man. So to me, it's definitely Rudy Gobert. As much as people like to put the notion, he just block shots, but just when he's on the court, you see like the effectiveness of his defensive abilities. Like we're not gonna look at him as somebody that could guard 1 through 5 or nothing like that, never that nature. But that's somebody that's been 3 times defensive player of the year or 2 times.
I think 2, yeah.
2 times, man. So we can't like knock him for that. Like he having one of his best defensive seasons statistically.
Yeah.
You know, I definitely read up on that a little bit. But just making the team better. Like the Timberwolves are sitting first seed right now. And when we talked about the trade, you know, like what was it, last season?
Yeah.
And like what it does for this team, you know, everybody was just like, it don't make sense having 2 bigs and something like. But honestly, we seen it like with the prowess of what Rudy Gobert brings defensively and taking the load off Karl Anthony Towns to play that 5 spot. Rudy Gobert to me has definitely just been just the best defender. Like when I think about it, no other player comes to mind to where they're winning besides Chet to a lesser degree. But it's just like I understand with the blocks and everything, but just being an enforcer at the rim too, just making it hard for teams to win games. And Rudy Gobert has been there for the most part of the season, and that's led and it's contributed to the success of this team as well. Although be it without Karl Anthony Towns right now, they're still holding on to that number 1 seed. So I got to give it to him.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely understand why. Because again, having 3.5 blocks per game as a rookie is crazy. But again, it's Wembanyama. You're like 7'4", so I understand. I'm not hating, but still, yeah. But I definitely feel. How do you feel about him at least making a defensive team?
Yeah. Second team all defense. But
that's what I'm saying. Second team all defense, and you're leading the league in blocks.
I don't know though, because you gotta hear me out though, because are we gonna put Chet in for defense too? You gotta make an all NBA defensive team, and there's only like team one and team 2. It's
yeah, and you got your 2 center. Well, I know it's 2 forwards, 2 guards, and 1 center, right? Or did they eliminate that format? And it's just the best defensive.
I don't think if you want to put Chet at a 4,
yeah, technically. But yeah, so I got Wembanyama over Chet though for defense. 3.5 blocks a game.
Yeah, but Chet's like second in the league too.
That is tough.
Yeah, he averages like 2.5, 2.7. He's not far off either. Like
yeah, he's winning.
So like you can't discredit him too. I just feel like right now, like winning gotta hold some type of weight to it because like your defense is leading 2 wins. Like Wemby's like he'll have like 7 blocks and then them niggas will get punched by like 20, 25.
That is true.
So it was like, what caliber do we hold these players to? Like what's the system like being placed for these awards and type of shit? So it's kind of flawed if you're gonna give it to Wemby, but it's flawed also if you don't give it to Chet. So I think that second team got to be like you got to put one of them as a forward because statistically, like I guess like they've been better than like a Jaren Jackson or so. I can't really think of too many bigs that's been playing solid defense this year
and winning.
Yeah. So
yeah, definitely. But I definitely feel eventually along the lines, Victor Wembanyama will win Defensive Player of the Year. I definitely feel too, again, to Seth's point, winning does contribute to being eligible for these awards. Again, you can have 3.5 blocks, but if it's not leading to wins, it really doesn't really play a factor into your team and really doesn't influence winning. So I definitely feel like the league is going to promote winning and reward winning at that too. But at the same time, I'm just going to give a shout out to Herb Jones. That's my guy. You feel me? I definitely feel I was rooting for him like Defensive Player of the Year like a little early on in the season, but I definitely feel he'll make a defensive team. But just big shout out to him. That's one of my he's become one of my favorite players just watching him. You know, like you feel me? He just reminds me of my like Kawhi, when Kawhi wasn't playing offense, I really feel like that's how like Herb Jones was playing defense. Like they very similar, and I see it a lot. So
definitely got to get up there too. I gotta say a big shout out to Jonathan Isaac too.
Jonathan Isaac,
he definitely.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm not gonna lie,
I think
he's tough.
He might be second team.
At 6'11" too. That's
6'11",
crazy.
yeah. Like he definitely very mobile. I'm trying to think who else.
I know Jalen Suggs had like a great defensive season, but I don't know if he makes a defensive team.
Yeah, I was saying the same for Westbrook. I was rooting for Westbrook earlier in the season.
Okay. Yeah.
But like right now though, it's tough. But I feel like I was gonna say not Jaden. Is it Jaden or Jalen?
I think it's Jaden.
Jaden McDaniels. I definitely had him up there too as well.
Yeah, and shout out to my boy Kawhi. Boy Kawhi better make that. Or even like
or even Shea. Shea.
Oh yeah, Shea. Yeah, Shea too. He leads the league in steals.
He leads. So you gotta. I feel like you gotta reward that. I don't think people reward steals, but this is like you had two a game.
Yeah.
So I definitely it's definitely been a lot of good defensive players this season too. I know we don't get, I know we don't try to make it seem like the defense is being played in the league, but there's people that be locking up too. Despite all the rules or luxury that goes to the offensive players, like there's players that has to be locking up still too.
Nah, yeah, facts. You feel me? And shout out to all the defensive players out there, getting gritty and really, being an enforcer on the defensive end as well. You feel me? So so we're gonna move on to our next topic as well. So again, earlier, as I said, I definitely feel like one of the teams that has momentum going into the playoffs is the Los Angeles Lakers. Again, they're currently sitting at 9th, but they're right there tied with the Sacramento Kings at 44 and 33. And I just want to ask you too. So, do you feel like the Lakers do have a chance to repeat their success from last year and get to the Western Conference and possibly make the NBA Finals?
I definitely feel like they can. I just like how this team has been playing as a recent. This is one of the reasons why we had them where we was at earlier in the season. But just they had a whole bunch of question marks and variables. With the trade talks of D'Angelo Russell blowing up the team, or just the firing of Darvin Ham. But right now, I just feel like this team has really been locked in, focused on just handling business at what task they have in front of them right now. I feel like they're taking stepping stones in the right direction within this late of the season, because 8 out of 2 wins in their last 10 is definitely something to look at around this time of the year too. I feel like they've had some notable key wins with the Bucks game, especially with LeBron being out. So I feel like they can handle their own. I feel like Anthony Davis has been very important to this team due to the fact that his health. He's been healthy throughout the whole season thus far, so contributed to very much on the defense end too. And that's somebody we could talk about for an all NBA.
Shout out to Anthony Davis.
So it's just like however you want to go with defensive player of the year, not defensive player of the year, but like all NBA defense. Like a lot of players is there too, and Anthony Davis has definitely been one of them. Definitely impacting them. Somebody that don't want to be a 5. But just the fact that he's there and then just contributing to it has definitely been something to look at. D'Angelo Russell, we got on him earlier for just his plays and just how he's been looking when he re-signed with the Lakers this offseason. But, just definitely picked up where he's left off from just last season. Somebody else I want to give a shout out to is, I'm forgetting his name. Austin Reeves. Yeah. Austin Reeves. I feel like Austin Reeves has had a shaky start to the beginning of the season just compared to what he was doing last season, especially in the postseason. I just think that he's definitely coming to his own. I feel like everybody's getting comfortable within their roles and their position. Just returning players too. Everybody just knows what's expected out of them, and just let's capitalize on the success. So right now with this Lakers team, you have a point to where everybody knows what they need to do on the floor and how to pull out wins against these teams now. So to me, I think they definitely could repeat the same success that they had last year. It's just, can they beat the Nuggets?
Yeah,
that's literally their only that was only their literally only question mark of this season. Can they beat the Denver Nuggets? So with that, if they could, that's why when you said earlier, if they get the 7th seed and they possibly face the Denver Nuggets at 2 seed, that's going to be the biggest test of them all. Because at the end of the day, that's the team that stopped you from getting to the finals. That's the team that's that's gotten the better of you for these past 6 to 8 matchups, however many matchups it's been. That if you could get over the Denver Nuggets hump, then you more than likely you're going to the finals.
Yeah, definitely. How do I think about it? I feel again, I'm not opposed to them possibly making the Western Conference Finals, but I feel it's really a matter of matchups to me. I definitely feel like if they get OKC in that first round, I definitely feel like they get by easily. I really feel like it wouldn't be a long series. Against the Nuggets, I definitely would have the Nuggets. Now, if they go against the Timberwolves, I'm not too certain, just because I just like the match, the front court with Karl Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert, and I just want to know how would they combat that. Because again, you can move AD at the 4, play Jackson Hayes at the 5, and again, Rudy Gobert and Jackson Hayes, they're really non-scorers. So I guess it would null itself out. But again, I just want to see how that would match up, and that would be an interesting series for me. And also too, I just want to see, again, with alluding to the matchups too. In each round, last year, we seen Austin Reeves in that Memphis Grizzlies series. We seen Lonnie Walker have a great game against the Warriors. I want to see who else is going to be there to show up on certain games. I know Spencer Dinwiddie's on the team, and he hasn't had like a show out game as of yet, but I know like once he gets inside that playoffs, we seen like when he was on the Mavericks, came up big games against the Utah Jazz in that first round. In the elimination game against the Phoenix Suns, had 30. Like he's definitely a solid contributor, and if you need him to have a big game, he can definitely show out. So I definitely want to just want to see the assessment of how what players are going to show up specifically. I definitely feel like, LeBron is LeBron and AD is going to control the defensive end and have his nights. But I definitely feel like who's going to be that extra guy to give him that lift. Now, Austin Reeves, I feel like Austin Reeves is giving that lift, but I don't really feel like you're going to have to rely on him night in and night out every series. And, D'Angelo Russell as well, he has his game. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see who comes up big in which series and how they're being utilized within the system, and see how Darvin Ham uses his rotations as well. Now, another thing I'm noticing too, right? Now let's say potentially they get to 7th, right? Let's say they don't get to 7th and they go to 8th. I feel if everything goes right, we'll finally get a Clippers versus Lakers 7-game series. And I've been waiting for this for a long time because you got Eddie, you got Justin. I really feel like I'm like the only Clipper fan in my vicinity. So I'm definitely waiting on that to happen. How would you feel about that Clippers and Lakers series?
Man, that would be a great thing for basketball. I'm not gonna lie. You got basically two. You're in the same arena. All you're doing is changing the logo. You change the logo after every 2 games for the first.
Yeah, so and this is the last year the Clippers are gonna be there too.
Yeah, so definitely that's something that we was banking on, especially even in the bubble. Like, I know it was to a lesser degree, but the Lakers did their part. The Clippers just didn't handle their business, being up 3-1 against the fucking Nuggets.
Yeah.
So when we look at it like that, it's just like we're being denied a Kawhi and LeBron matchup. Maybe one more time. Because at the end of the day, we don't know how long LeBron's going to be within the league. We definitely heard talks of him just, like he's not going to be here for too long. So we just got to appreciate greatness while it's here. So with that being said, it's like, if we could get that matchup one time within the Staples Center or the Crypto Arena, like, feel me? Like the Staples Center. I don't know why people say the Crypto Arena to me. To me, I feel like just the Staples Center will always hold more weight.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, when you think about the Staples Center, you think
yeah.
of the Magic Johnsons, the Kareem Abdul-Jabars. Like, you think about the Wilt Chamberlains. You think about the fucking...
Kobe,
you think about Shaq. You think about Kobe fucking Bryant, man. At 824, man. RP Kobe, man. But it's like... Yeah, but that's the type of matchup you're going to get within that shit. And the celebrities, the stars are going to be out. It's going to do great viewerships for the league. Like...
Yeah, and even whoever wins, like the loser of that series, oh my God, it's gonna get crazy. Because again, whoever loses, we obviously know what's that risk for the Clippers and the struggles and everything that's been going on with them. But if the Lakers lose that series, again, like you said, we've been talking about LeBron potentially, moving elsewhere or possibly retiring, and then like it might be a shift like between the two teams, And same thing with the Clippers, we don't know if Paul George is gonna be back. He hasn't gotten his it's definitely a lot of question marks if either one loses.
So. A lot going on in LA right now, man.
Yeah, facts.
2 teams that really just gotta, they gotta put something on the table. Something gotta be on the floor for these 2 teams, man. Because when you look at it, especially for the Clippers, I'm happy that you brought that up too. Just as of recently, this post All-Star break just hasn't looked like, feel me, the team that we seen before the All-Star break. The team that when they got rolling, it was like 22 and like 6.
Yeah.
But we haven't seen that team. I don't know what the fuck is going on with that team. I don't know. It's, feel me, just because we're getting close to the postseason, players might be a little bit more tired, a little bit more winded. They said this has definitely been the most Kawhi has played as of recently. So right now, I just look at this team right now. I'm just like, do you have the turn it on button, like to turn up, like, or it's just like, was it like a fluke or something, bro?
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't want to get into that because I don't want to meld myself. Because at the end of the day, like I said within the beginning of the season, I have the Clippers going to the finals, man. But just what I seen recently, and just Tyronn Lue having to call the team out, say, we look soft. That's not a good sign, man. It's not a good sign.
Yeah, it's definitely not a good sign for the Clippers, and I definitely agree with that point too. I've been watching games, and I definitely feel like Kawhi's doing a little bit too much for them to win games. Like I definitely feel like like the names on the paper sound good, but they have to perform. You feel me? Like James Harden.
What the fuck happened?
As much as he want to be a point guard, bro, you got to score that ball. And Paul George, Paul George has his spots like sometimes, but I definitely feel Paul George specifically has to come up big against top tier opponents. Like, I don't care if you had 40 against the Hornets. You need to have 30 against the Timberwolves. You feel me? And I definitely feel like he needs to show up against like top level competition. But I just feel like their lack of a power forward and Kawhi trying to fill that power forward need or just rebound. I definitely feel like he's doing a lot.
Tice?
Tice is not a power forward. He's like their backup center. They don't play him at the 4.
Wow.
And they've been playing PJ Tucker a little bit. But
shout out to PJ Tucker. Was you watching the Denver game?
Denver game. Yeah, I was watching the Denver game.
Yeah. Shout out to PJ Tucker, man.
Yeah.
Somebody that's been limited within his role, like, feel me? They felt like there was no use for him, but you can see right now there's always space on the team for PJ Tucker. Somebody that just comes in the game and just plays defense, man.
No, facts.
And literally, I seen the change, like just how they looked with PJ Tucker on the floor, especially in that Denver game, but with them out. Jokic was going berserk. He was going crazy. They was up by like at least 10 to 12 with like 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And I seen the Nuggets going to run like how they usually do, like a team that's not going to go away. PJ Tucker really came and slowed that down. Like, I know he picked up like a little 1-2 boneheaded tech or whatnot, but he's going to be crucial for this Clippers team this postseason too. And I hope Tyronn Lue, I'm very comfortable with Tyronn Lue and his coaching adjustments because I've seen it before when they made that run to the Western Conference Finals where they had Boogie, they had Rondo, like, feel me? There's going to be some series where you're not going to play.
Yeah, he legit didn't play Pat Bev that whole Mavs series. And he said, bro, you're not playing. And then the next series,
yeah,
you feel me?
Same thing with Rondo and DeMarcus Cousins. He's like, whoa, you'll fit in where you get in, like. And I feel like with Tyronn Lue, that's definitely been a thing. I know he knows how to make the correct adjustments in a 7-game series, so that's why I'm not that worried too. But just the regular season, it's like they're crawling to the finish line of the regular season. Is what it's been looking like for the Clippers. James Harden, I just really want to say, like, bro, you got to step it up, bro.
Yeah.
I can't, like, they say within his last 10 or just supposed, like, he's been averaging like 11 or so.
Yeah.
You got to step
score
it
the
up.
ball, bro.
Yeah.
Score the ball, bro.
Yeah, like, the team is better when James Harden is at least putting up to like 18 to 20 points.
Yeah, please.
That's all that required of you. Because now you're putting pressure on the defense to, like, we can't leave. We gotta leave. We gotta pick our poison now. Well, if James Harden has to, and if Justin was here, he would have said it again because he said it this whole time. The most pressure right now is on James Harden. Yeah. I don't feel that way, but there's definitely expectations for James Harden this postseason. I can't cut it short. Like, he can't just be lackadaisical. He can't just be, Kawhi's putting up 30 and everybody else is just following along. James Harden has to show up, man. There's just no way around it. Like, I just feel like these teams right now, they just, like, they're there. Like, feel me? You can't take no breaks. Like, everybody has to contribute. And we know Westbrook, he's came back and he's given him at least a little bit of lift on just leadership.
Definitely.
Because that's what the fuck they was missing too at a point too. They're losing these games. They look like they have no fucking heart, bro. And everybody want to say some shit about Westbrook about, he's not this, he's not that. At the end of the day, he's a vocal leader and he's getting these players going. So I'm happy that he's back too, and he's gonna definitely install like confidence within his players. So that's a plus. So right now, the Clippers just got to show up, man. I just think that they just need to get to the postseason, get a little bit of rest, and really start getting ready for these matchups.
Yeah, definitely. And big shout out to the Lakers and the Clippers. Hopefully we get that series by the end of this year in this postseason.
Just Adam Silver, get that script going, man. Get that script going.
Facts. And you feel
Pull
me?
A couple games.
You feel me? Sprinkle a little game 7, Kawhi 40. You feel me? All right.
Yeah, write that narrative. You heard?
All right. You feel me? But just to conclude, I just wanted to shine a little bit of light on women's basketball just a little bit. We know there's been a lot of momentum with Caitlyn Clark. Definitely heading to, the NCAA championship game just dropped off. UConn, a very, very formidable team, and the famous LSU team led by Angel Reese. I just have a question. She is, the draft for them is like next week. And, I just wanted to know, do you think like Caitlyn Clark would be able to just carry the WNBA and make it more popular? Or do you think like there's something else that's needed?
No, I think right now, not even just her, just all these like up and coming like women's basketball players, like just the Juju Watkins, the Angel Reese, the Flage, I'm forgetting her name, the Paige Bouchier, King Carr herself too, just the Haley Van Lint, like these names coming out of college right now, definitely like feel me, they're gonna shine a little bit light on the WNBA because right now people have been saying like the WNBA has been hot. Like I'm not gonna lie, like when I look up, I'm just like, yo, this shit is entertaining because like these females are getting buckets. Like shout out to the college basketball women. Like definitely that what was it on Monday? We had the UConn versus UConn versus what? USC, we had the
and then the LSU versus Iowa.
Yeah. Definitely has been like top tier matchups. We seen Caitlyn Clark go off for 41.
Yeah.
And it should look effortless. Like I'm not gonna lie. Like it look like some Luka, like mix with Curry shit. Like
I seen her shoot a 3 like this. Like I'm like nah, she's
like
wild.
Side fit, like feel me? Like
Nah.
yeah. I feel like it is definitely her and just everything that she's accomplished within college is definitely gonna shine a light on the WNBA and just add more ticket sales.
Yeah.
I feel like viewership is what's missing from the WNBA to make it like, more paid. Like I feel like these women definitely should get paid a little bit more, but it just has to be more of an attraction. And I feel like Caitlyn Clark right now and what she's doing for the college basketball, women's college basketball, is definitely gonna shine more light within the WNBA. I feel like Juju Watkins, when she gets in there too, she's definitely gonna shine a little bit more light too.
Yeah.
Because like these
Juju
women are
Watkins is tough
a
too.
fucking bucket getter. Like
crazy.
Like she hoops like B Booker.
Yeah.
Like I'm watching her, I'm like, yo,
Yeah.
nigga, did she be watching Devin Booker highlights or some
Bruh.
shit? Like Angel really Reese too, like and just the swag and the aura that she's brought to LSU, people be like, I don't like LSU just because of like, feel me, just the way they talk.
Yeah.
It's competitive basketball. And at the standpoint too, when you get on the basketball court, everybody knows it. Like it's like, feel me, like I want to win. So at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck about the other team. Like feel me, you could be my homie, you could be my
Facts.
mans. You on the other team, bro. I want to win. Basketball is the most competitive as it gets. Because at the end of the day, though, it's like you and your skills and your teammate against the other team. Who's gonna come out like better? Like feel me? That's what I'm trying to say. So feel me? I appreciate LSU for what they've done for college basketball too as well.
Yeah.
I feel like people be trying to discredit what they did and just like overall just adding that competitive and make it more entertaining, making it just not some shit where it just like all right we played, we lost. People no, like it was hard edge. Like feel me? We need this win more than you. So feel me? Shout out to this college women's basketball and that girl UConn Paige that just came back.
Paige Bucheras?
Yeah, she's elite. She is elite.
Yeah,
I know she
tough.
just came back off an injury, but she is elite. I'm watching her get buckets. I'm watching USC versus. I'm watching the highlights because I didn't get a chance to watch the game.
Yeah.
But I'm watching that and she's just like they go to the rack like with force. Like,
Yeah, bro.
Nah, shout out to college.
Yeah,
women's basketball.
even that game, I even watched her again. The game before that, and I think it was a close game. I'm forgetting the opponent, bro. It was like 20 seconds left. She said, "Give me the ball." And got to a bucket straight in the mid range. She's really a bucket too.
Yeah, I fuck with that. You know who they remind me of? Like the Juju Watkins, I'm thinking about Maya Moore.
Maya,
Yeah, like Juju Watkins reminds you of Maya Moore. Like I'm talking about you get to your spot and you just score. Like Maya
Fuck
Moore
it.
to me is probably my GOAT for the WNBA.
Yeah, nah,
just
facts.
watch it, like seeing her
Facts.
highlights, like certified bucket, like feel me? And I feel like that's just really what's missing.
Yeah.
Like I know we have right now, who we got? Like
You got Brianna Stewart,
Stewart,
Audrey Wilson.
Audrey Wilson's is tough too.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about somebody that gets a bucket from any place on the floor. Like feel me? I feel like that's what's missing. Like
Yeah.
and she's hooping like she's in the park, like with niggas.
That's what
like,
I'm saying. Like Juju looked like she's on a playground with it. Like she looked like she been playing against men like her whole life. Type stuff.
Nah, yeah. So shout out to them though.
Yeah, big shout out to them. A big part of that too. I was saying, more so we know like Caitlyn Clark, Angel Reese will be transitioning to the WNBA. I just hope again that they continue their success and hopefully carry along that same success to the WNBA. I do know like at certain times it's not trying to fault them necessarily, but I know like Kelsey Plum and like Sabrina Ionescu, like they're definitely great, NBA players, but I definitely feel like they would definitely have more momentum in college. And then when it got to the WNBA, they kind of became like WNBA players. But I just feel like specifically, with the hype around Caitlyn Clark coming to the WNBA, I hope it really transitions to like now, giving more light to the WNBA. Because I definitely feel like this specific season was definitely the best probably season for women's college basketball, just with the names in general. But again, they can't stay in college forever. They have to do transition to the WNBA. And I think Caitlyn Clark will have success, especially I think the first pick is like Indiana or something. So I definitely feel like she'll have success, and hopefully she could, carry that league. Now, I'm not expecting her to go crazy her rookie year, but eventually, hopefully, carry that league, be a superstar in the WNBA,
bring that
and
hype.
and bring that hype around. Now, I definitely feel like specifically Angel Reese might. Now, I'm not hating. I'm not hating. Trust me. I think Angel Reese might have a little bit of difficulty just because of her position. Because now in the NBA, now you got to go against Brianna Stewart. Like Brianna Stewart is the current MVP. She's a bucket. Like she's like that, like mid-range 3-point line anywhere. Like she's a bucket.
too.
Then you got Audrey Wilson, like defensive player. Like those are
two-time
tough.
champion? Yeah, two-time WNBA
That's what I'm
champion.
saying.
She don't fuck around.
That's what I'm saying. Angel Reese was cool to do that in the college, like talk her shit. But now you're going against some big dogs, like, and they're like the best players in the league. So hopefully Angel Reese, toughs out and gets
I hope she transitions to it and just bring that competitive aura too. Like I feel like it's gonna help whatever team she gets drafted to. Yeah. Just bringing that competitive nature as well. Like, we know the sponsorship, the NIL deals, and everything that they got going for them within LSU women's. But at the same time, it's just like that momentum got to keep. You got that deal for a reason now. Like, feel me? Let's not slack though.
Yeah,
let's keep it up, ladies. But another thing I wanted to talk about too was the fucking whatchamacallit for women's college basketball. Was it South Carolina?
South Carolina, yeah.
Undefeated still.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Going against Iowa in the chip game.
That's going to be very interesting.
Who you got?
I think, I'm not going to lie, I have to go, damn. I'm gonna just go Caitlyn Clark just because just the momentum is on her side. No disrespect to South Carolina, because I definitely feel not even this season. I think South Carolina in general, even when I wasn't like keeping up, they've always been good. You feel me? A great collegiate program and everything. But I feel like this is similar to UConn. The UConn thing, and even on that subject, UConn Fate got a little bit cheated. You feel me?
Yeah, that calls
they
bullshit.
got a little bit cheated.
That calls bullshit.
You feel
I've said a
me?
million
They
screens like that before.
Bit.
Yo, I ain't going front. Yeah, I'm throwing I'm getting ejected out the gas. Bullshit.
Yeah, it got cheated a little bit, but Iowa definitely stuck it out. And I don't want to discredit the other girl, but she definitely had a good 21-point game. I feel like Iowa, other players been coming up big for them. So I definitely feel like if Caitlyn Clark has a big game and she has another person to at least score 20 or two people to get 15, to carry out that scoring load, I definitely think they'll be good. But I'm not saying that with confidence though. So
South Carolina, man, if you're undefeated, they've been undefeated the whole fucking. They say they lost 3 games within the past like 2 to 3 seasons.
Yeah,
that is fucking insane, bro. And the only thing that's stopping is that you just don't have a chip to your name. So this year it got to be. But if Caitlyn Clark pulls off the impossible and beats the fucking team that's undefeated in the National Women's Chip game, you're the GOAT.
Go.
No, she's ready to go to college, women's college basketball. Like, feel me? I don't care. I don't care what nobody else says. But if she wins this in her last college year before transitioning to the WNBA, she's the GOAT. She's the GOAT.
Yeah, she's stamped forever in the legacy books. But is there anything else? Any other topics you wanted to bring up today?
Let me think. Yeah. So the other day, I'm chilling on my phone. I get a Bleacher Report news. Julius Randle's out for the season. I know everybody's gonna look like, bro, it's just Julius Randle, but there was hype.
Yeah,
there was hype around the New York season, hoping that once everybody's healthy, that we could go back to how he was in like the month of like January when we only lost like 2 games. So to me, I just want to ask you, like, do you think the Knicks can have some type of success without him going into the postseason?
Success. What do you mean by success, though?
Like, first round, second round. Like, where do you think their limit is at? Like,
so
their ceiling is for this postseason.
So I believe they could definitely get to the second round. Now, again, I know earlier episodes, I definitely had a hot take. I definitely feel like they was gonna beat the Bucks, and I still feel that way if they had Julius Randle. But specifically losing Julius Randle, I definitely feel like even though they lost Julius Randle, as of right now, they definitely still have momentum. They've been playing very well. Jalen Brunson's been holding down the fort. Dante DiVincenzo, Josh Hart, OG's coming back as well. It's definitely hype around New York, so I definitely feel like they'll definitely get past the first round. I think they're matched up against the Magic. I have it going no longer than 5 games. I definitely feel like the Knicks are that good to get them out in 5 games, even without Julius Randle. But that second round, it's dependent on who they get. Now, again, they're at like that 5th, 4th seed, so they're probably looking at the Celtics. I definitely feel like they can make it tough. Max 6 games.
Punch, bro. We get
max 6 games.
We get maybe.
If they had Julius Randle,
we lucky we get 1 game.
If they had Julius Randle, I could debate.
We go 7 games, but I heard the news. Like, feel me? I figured it was about time because there was no progress. He still wasn't. He just did like a little bit of contact and he re-irritated the shoulder. So, like, feel me? Big shouts out to Julius Randle for trying to fucking just get back in time for the play. I know how much this season meant to him. Just having, like, one of them better seasons. The numbers may not show it, but just the way he was playing looked more within just the flow of a game. I seen him take less threes, getting back to bully ball, just get into his roots, his nature of what Julius Randle really is as a player. Like, we know he can make a jump shot. We know he can take the mid range. We know he can shoot the 3 ball. But just his best is when he's attacking the basket, because he's like, what, 6'11", just like, bro, freaking ape down there, like, feel me? So I seen really the best of Julius Randle this season before going down. Just a shame, because right now Jalen Brunson too is just, he's one of them ones in the league, man. If not, to me, I think the best point guard in the East. I know some people might want to say Trae Young, some people might want to say Damian Lillard, but Jalen Brunson, to me right now, I don't really see a flaw in his game right now to where you could slow him down. So if they had that going, as well as OG Anunoby too, who I feel like has been a crucial piece for them too, something that's missing, to where you got a guy that guards really just these wing players, these offensive players like a Jimmy Butler's, Jason Tatum, a Jaylen Brown, maybe even a Giannis to a certain extent. Like, feel me? You get somebody like that now to where you don't got to put Josh Hart onto these like main primary offensive guys. It really was just looking like, like, I'm looking at this shit like, I'm just like, yo, maybe there's a chance too. And now that you just got Mitchell Robinson back, if the whole band was together, I'm just like, who knows what we could have done? Like, feel me?
I mean, it hasn't begun yet, so
it hasn't. But at the same time, it's like, it's always there. Like, you missing that other like 20 point per game score that really could have just take like the pressure off Jalen Brunson. But now I feel like teams are just gonna lock in on Jalen Brunson, and no disrespect to everybody else, but like, Jalen Brunson has been that guy. Like, Dante DiVincenzo has having a spectacular season, like really breakout, but he's gonna have to turn it up a notch. Josh Hart has really found himself. Like, he's been in the league for some years, but I think this is the best version we've seen of Josh Hart.
Definitely.
But he's gonna have to step it up to more to where we need point productions. Like, to me, like, it's cool when Josh Hart's getting these triple doubles or not, but I've seen too many times where Josh Hart has been like, timid on scoring. But we're gonna need everybody to add some buckets. Bojan Bogdanovic, he's looked suspect since this trade, and I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if it's like getting an adjustment to actually having expectations to where you're not playing on the Pistons now. You just going out there to score 20 points and then just go to the locker room and then take your shit and go home. But his expectations, Bojan Bogdanovic, I'm gonna need to see some type of consistency out of you. Let's see. OG Anunoby, I know he just came back. He's always a plus on the floor. Mitchell Robinson, I feel like he just got to get his feet together. But I really do think, if we're really talking about it, like, second round, it could be their max. But Jalen Brunson is going to be like, Jalen Brunson going to make a name for himself this postseason. Like, last postseason, we seen the breakout, but I really feel like this year, since it's just going to really be him, like, I feel like he's gonna be one of them ones, man. So I'm excited to see. I just want to see who's gonna be that second definitive. To me, it has to be Dante DiVincenzo. Like, them Nova boys, I feel like they got each other's back. So definitely Dante DiVincenzo is gonna have to ramp his game up to at least 20 points per game, 21, something of that nature.
Yeah, and big shout out to Miles McBride too, holding out that backup PG.
I'd even shout out.
Big shout out to him as well,
because he's really giving you like. He's giving you like whatever is asked out of him from Tom Thibodeau, just the defense as well, mixed with the offensive shooting. Like, he's definitely giving what Emmanuel Quickly mixed with like a little bit of like, what I say, like RJ Barrett or like Quinn Grimes. No, Quickly and Quinn Grimes.
Gotcha.
Because Quinn Grimes was supposed to be that, that catch and shoot, that lethal shooter.
Yeah.
And he couldn't buy a shot. There was times where in series where if he hit out at least a crucial three, then feel me, we might be looking at games like differently. Miles McBride has definitely stepped in. Like, he lacks no confidence.
No, facts. He definitely has.
Then he's gonna play that. He's gonna play that defense. Like, he might not be like the best defender on the floor, but he's like. I like this team a lot. I definitely like just the heart, especially throughout everything this whole season, just missing all these players, and to still even be fighting for that fourth or even third seed. It just shows a testament to what this team is really capable of. Even like filming now with just the injuries that's happened, they're still competing, night in and night out. Whoever's on the floor, they don't make excuses. They don't complain about like, oh, we're missing OG or we're missing Hartenstein, we're missing fucking okay, we're missing any of these players. They just go out there and they just really compete. So shout out to the New York Knicks, though. I definitely have mad respect for the season. Like, you know, just what this team embodies of what New York is, really just a grit and grind day in and day out of the life of New Yorkers. So shout out to the Knicks.
Yeah, big shout out to the Knicks. Even though I'm a Nets fan, just again holding it down for the city of New York, and definitely has the city in an uproar. Definitely Jalen Brunson. Even like my mom is definitely a fan of Jalen Brunson for some reason now. So big shout out to the Knicks and definitely hold it down for the New York going into these playoffs. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about today?
Listen, bro. If my boy Mikal comes, bro, you gotta. I'm gonna get you a Mikal. If Mikal Bridges join the Knicks, bro, I'm gonna get you a Mikal Bridges Knicks jersey, bro. We gonna convert you, bro. We're gonna convert you, bro. Listen, bro.
It's something about the Barclays, bro. That it feels like home, bro.
Yeah. But I mean, shit, bro. If we want to go to Barclays, we can go to Barclays right now for $8.
Facts. That's why I love it.
Cheap as fuck,
bro. I be sitting mad close. You feel me?
Bro,
that's
yo, shout out to the Barclays. I'm looking at tickets, bro. Like you guys can sit double close for like $1.50. Take $1.50. You sit at the last of the Garden, bro. But I'd rather be in the Garden.
Oh my God, bro. Garden is crazy.
Yeah,
bro.
You squinting at the Garden for the prices though, but shit.
Yeah, especially in this upcoming play. Hopefully it's lower with Julius Randle out, but hey. Yeah, so that's going to conclude this episode of It's Debatable. Again, big shout out to Justin. He just wasn't able to make it for this episode, but he will be back next episode and continuing so forth. Make sure you tune in to everything concerning It's Debatable on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and follow Justin Jones on Facebook for details and developments. Now, also be on the lookout for our WWE content, which is the newest addition to our channel, and the battle rap as well. So, is there anything else you wanted to say just to conclude?
Ooh, WrestleMania season is here. And just to finish this shit off, man, Cody Rhodes will finish the fucking story. Remember I said that Cody Rhodes will finish the fucking story, bro. Bake on it. Nah, but shout out to everybody, though. Hopefully everybody's enjoying just the content that we're putting out. You know, we're definitely, trying to expand our branches. Just, not limit ourselves to just, battle rap. Just, we'll add more within time, but it's just everything has to happen at the right time and place. With the NBA season trickling down, we're going to have more time to talk about other shit going on. We might even dab into football, fucking baseball. And, feel me? It's really debatable on what the content we're going to talk about. Just appreciate for everybody just sort of supporting. Shout out to everybody that's been watching since day one, and we just gonna keep going.
All right, and that's gonna conclude this episode. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again.